back to Libib's booktube channel. I'm your host Kaylin and welcome back to another bookish video. Today I am going to be doing a very late November wrap-up slash quick December wrap-up as well. It is going to be titled The Last Wrap-Up of 2022. Kind of what I've been doing in the meantime. Totally forgot that I didn't do my November wrap-up one. I finally got caught up on binging the TV show Yellowstone, which I thoroughly enjoy, except for this new season is kind of the watch some movies over the Christmas break, the new Glass Onion, also the new Spirited movie with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. Awesome. And what else have I been doing? Oh, and procrastinating reading because I've just been taking time to myself and doing absolutely nothing. I'm like a little couch potato, except for I don't have a couch. I have a bed, so I'm a bed potato. November was a successful month, so let's get started with this wrap up. So the two books that I read, I finished this series, and it's Paper Girls, Volume 5 and 6. So here's my thoughts and feels and opinions. Volume 5, 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this one. I liked the setting, I liked the characters, I like what they were doing in here. Oh, before I start talking into these books, I would like to say the Paper Girls series is these 4 girls who are delivering papers the morning after Halloween, and some time travel-y alien stuff goes on, and these girls are just traveling through time at this point. So we're in the super future. It's really fun. It's really interesting. 4 out of 5 stars. However, I want to give it a 3-star, but I'm gonna go towards 3.5 because I'm feeling generous. The last volume in the comic series was Volume 6, which I finished up. I'm glad I knocked another series off my list. I'm finished up, caught up. This reminded me, and that's why I want to be generous, because I don't want to lump it into the same thoughts, feels, and opinions that I had about The 100. I loved The 100 TV show, but they butchered the last 2 seasons, specifically the last season, specifically the last couple episodes when they all did everyone dirty. The feelings I had with the 100 series was that like it just kind of sucked at the end and the ending was just garbage and I cried. With this, I feel like I'm right in the middle of my feelings where it was a satisfying ending, like they wrap things up all nice and neat and fuzzy wuzzy. However, that's not what I was going for with the themes of the series. I feel like our characters were great, but then it reached a point in the book, it's like there needs to be something more. There needs to be something more momentous, more catastrophic, more something than just this. I can't say it because I don't want to spoil it, but it just, it was just all right. And it just made me really disappointed and kind of upset, but I still loved it, so 3.5, and then also 4 stars for me. Next up, we have King of Spies by Mark Miller, and this was an interesting comic volume. I found this randomly one night via the internet when I was scrolling looking for comic recommendations. So glad I rented this from the library. I ended up rating this book 4 out of 5 stars, but this book covers our main character Roland, and he is just like a certified badass, super top secret agent. He's out here killing all these other people, like all the good guys, and saving the bad guys. He's just like young and impossible. It then fast forwards to when our main character Roland, this guy right here, realizes that he only has 6 months left to live and he's just kind of screwed. So what does he do? He goes and kills all the bad guys to make up for all the times that he's like helped them out. And I think it's really fun and it's a really great adventure of like this guy now out to eliminate all the bad guys, and there are some things that in his past like get brought up. I thought it was a fun, fast, action-packed adventure. It made for a very quick read. Next up, I have another book that I picked up at the library. It's The Me You Love in the Dark. I did a whole book review on it, so if you want to learn more about my thoughts, feels, and opinions, please go check out the link below. I thought this book was really weird, really bizarre, and spooky dooky, but more messed up than spooky dooky. I don't have anything else to say, just go check out my book review. And last but not least, the last book that I read in the month of November that I loved and enjoyed, and it was one of my most highly anticipated releases of 2022, and that was a huge comeback, and that is Saga Volume 10 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. I just love this series so much, and I'm glad I picked it up at the right time because bam, here we go, Volume 10 is in my hands. And this story takes place where the last book left off, essentially. I don't want to go into spoilers or anything. Obviously, this is the 10th book in. I really loved and enjoyed our characters, and it's interesting to see where they're gonna go next on their space adventure and what's gonna happen, because I feel like we got introduced to some like interesting characters per se. I also find the artwork to be so enjoyable. I love everything about Saga, and it's also the same author who wrote the Paper Girl series. So like, if you love that, you'll love this. If you love this, you'll like that. Maybe I can read one more book before the end of the year, because I got put into a reading slump by this. This is also another book that I got at the library. It's Ducks, 2 Years in the Oil Sands by Kate Beaton. Ugh. Okay, so let's look at this little bookmark right here, because this will tell me when my books were supposed to be due. Ah yes, they were due back on December 2nd. Whoops, my bad. Our main character moves from one side of Canada to the other to explore a career in the super big oil boom that's happening in Canada. And so she graduates college and ships her little self to the oil sands, where she is just working. And I feel like this is the biggest book slump. Like, I was so excited to read this, because I'm like, I'm gonna fly through it. This is gonna be awesome. Like a big book, knock out some pages, knock out some more books for my reading goal, and it ultimately put me in a reading slump. There just isn't a lot happening. You're living through this girl's everyday life, and it's extremely boring. Like, nothing's really happening besides her going to work and doing stuff. Maybe I just haven't gotten into like the good of the book, but it was just terrible, if I'm being quite frank. And I have decided today that I am going to not finish this book at the end of the year, and hopefully maybe this can give me a boost of like, let's read off some books going into 2023, because this book is definitely not it. It was also up for a Goodreads Choice Award this year, which I can see because the art's pretty, but like, other than that, there's nothing going on in this story. Nothing gripping, nothing thrilling, literally just boring, mundane tasks and work. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this bookish video. What have you been reading towards the end of the year? Let me know in the comment section down below. And anyways, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you next year in 2023.